Bums do 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 do. Bums do 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 do. Hello, people who don't like or subscribe to my channel. Good to see you again. I've decided that I would like a nice breakfast this morning with an additional of something new, which is going to be some frozen sausages that I've had for a little while and that I have a hankering for right now. So I'm gonna make, hang on, it's the Italian accent, it's a never gonna stop. It gets into my head. I can't stop it, and so we're probably gonna do this to the point where you guys get annoyed. But, I'm gonna use some sausage, some cheese, I'm gonna make the egg very nice for you. You like the egg, right? Alright, and I'm gonna toast up some bread. The first thing I'm gonna do though is make some home fries for myself using my wonderful home fries recipe, patent pending to a me, Mario. So the first thing that needs to happen is I have to peel the potatoes, right? We're gonna make enough so that I don't have to do it 2 or 3 more times. Then we're gonna peel some onion. We're gonna take some onion, we're gonna melt them on the pan. It's gonna be so beautiful. We're gonna parboil the potatoes, we're gonna slice them up, peel them. I know a lot of people believe you don't have to. It's up to you. I like my potatoes peeled, so we're gonna do that. And then I have to remember which one of these are actually my decent peelers. One of them is a piece of shit from the dollar store, and one of them is really good and I bought it. And it might even be a third peeler that's the good one, and it's somewhere around here that I haven't found. So right now, though, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start peeling some potatoes. You guys don't have to wait around for that. You can imagine what me peeling potatoes looks like. We can give you a little vignette, so that while I put you guys on hold for a second, and I guess because it's a phone, putting you on hold is a good word for it. I'm gonna peel these potatoes so you guys don't have to watch. I'm gonna chop them up. Maybe you'll watch that part. I'm gonna put them in the water to get soft, and then we're gonna move on to the next thing. All right? So, see you on the other side. Okay, it's me. I'm back. All right. So I peeled 4 potatoes, semi-large potatoes. And the reason I'm doing that is certainly it will make more than enough home fries for me. It will actually make some extra. And I like my home fries so much that nothing's gonna hurt putting some in the fridge, warming them up in the microwave. It's delicious. So now I'm gonna cut these up. Then I'm gonna deal with some onions. I've got some onions out here. I usually would say use a small to medium for this. I have this sizes in small. I have this sizes in medium. What I'm gonna do, I think, is dice this up, see if it's enough, and if not, I'm gonna have to move to this. Oh, the other honest reason, to be honest with you, that I'm cooking extra potatoes is I got potatoes coming out of my brain. Seriously, I got a pile of potatoes. Every time I go shopping, I get the potatoes. Every time someone wants to drop off a little extra food assistance to me, it's got potatoes. I love the potatoes. I use them for all the things, but I do have a surfeit of them. I have an extra abundance of them. There's a lot of potatoes, is what I'm saying. All right, so I'm gonna move this. Hang on, because I don't know. Maybe you guys want to watch me slice up these potatoes to know my super secret home fries recipe. So the super secret is I find that when I dice them fine, they actually cook up real nice. But they're very fine, which means they get ready almost immediately in the hot water. And then when I've got to transfer it over to the pan, it's like a very quick thing. And I like it to absorb some of the onions and butter that I'm cooking it in. And so I'm gonna make a bit of a larger cut than the smallest I've done on this channel, just to give it a little bit more meat on the bone. And then while I'm cooking up the, do you know the way to San Jose? Okay, when I do that, I'm also going to take my sausage out of the freezer, and it's in my freezer. It's been in my freezer for quite a while. It's one of the reasons I feel like I want to use it today, both because I have the hankering for it, and second of all, because they've been in my freezer forever, and I am just terrible about moving uneaten shit out of my refrigerator. If I haven't eaten it in 4 months, does it need to be there? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we're going to just gently put this down, And I'm gonna chop up and dice some. Oh, by the way, I ended up accidentally using all of my peelers, including a third peeler that I didn't even show you, because I put one down and forgot I put that one down and picked up the other one that was clean. So we'll just have a lot of potatoes to go in the dishwasher today. There's nothing bad about that. Okay, so I think I'm gonna make them like I usually do. I'm gonna cut them into coins. Dun dun dun. Da da da. Da 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 da. With an eggnog, baddywag, give a dog a bone. What the fuck is going on with this in my hands? There we go. So we're gonna cut them into coins, and then we're gonna cut them into half coins, if I hadn't totally fucked this up, but half coins. This is the size that I'm going with today, and I'm gonna throw them right in the water as opposed to leaving them to sit out here, and then I'm gonna do them more. All right. Let's get this done. Let's get these done. I usually do these in a much more organized fashion than just cutting individual potatoes down, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and it's not like I got anywhere to be until 1:30, that is. At 1:30, I got places I gotta be. And it's cold out, so it's gonna be cold, and I'm gonna go out, and I'm gonna go to the places I need to go, and I'm probably gonna freeze my yites off, but it is what it is, right? Not easy for an elderly, frail man like myself to get along in this world without getting a little bit cold and shit like that. Okay, so just do these real quick. Do you know the way to San Jose? There we go. I wonder if I can get copyright violated for songs that I'm singing verb. I would guess that I would have to have some pretty good accompanying music for it to actually set off any. Certainly, I don't sound like whoever sang that song. Maria Muldaur? I don't know. I don't know who that was, actually. Which one did... Oh, Maria Muldaur did Midnight at the Oasis. She played at the club that I was cooking at one point, when I used to cook. And I go to clubs and deal with people who aren't me. Da, 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 da. It was nice having her at the club. I wish I'd have actually gotten out from the back and watched a little bit of the show, but we had, for such a small place, we had something like, I want to say like 150 tops there total, and each of the tops could fit 4 people. And I know because in the spring and the summer, we also had an extra outside patio that we used, and I honestly think that brought it up to over 200 tops, each doing 4 people. And I gotta tell you, we did it in a sweaty fucking kitchen that was, honest to God, smaller than, like, almost just a little bit bigger. Like, you have a walk-in freezer and then some areas surrounding it, and then we'd have the cooking line. It was just so small, and it was so brutal in the heat. I remember that I would be taking from the bartender the water, the pitchers that she used for various things, and just putting them in the ice and adding water to it, and then dumping it over my head right while I was on the line. And it was so hot out, no one even blinked an eye when I did that. Plus, we had, again, full pitchers filled with ice of Coca-Cola and stuff, and we'd just be mowing that shit down. It was so fucking small, tiny, hot. There was fucking fruit flies everywhere. I mean, especially in the summer, there was almost no... That place had been open under various names for decades. And then the people I was working for bought it. And, you know, they didn't really... You know, they were club people. They did music and stuff. And so they handed the cooking shit off to my boss, Sky. What's up, Sky, if you're out there? And they left it to her. But they didn't leave her with money to actually make the upgrades to the place to make it more human, you know, good for human living. So, you know, there was like 40 years of fucking grime and shit, and obviously no air conditioning, and we were crazy. And of course, because I was in my early 20s, just doing a lot of drugs. I would say marijuana with 99% of what we did, but the other 1% that wasn't marijuana, no good. And that was probably from the owners, mostly. You know, club owners. My friend Earl used to say that they are lower than the lowest whale shit at the bottom of the sea. And he was a professional musician, so we'll go with Earl. Rest your soul, Earl. If you're out there looking over me, I'm thinking about you, brother. Okay, so we got all this potatoes in water. I actually think it may be too high, so I'm going to actually cap some off. There we go. That's better. And I'm going to put some, I know people find this weird, some salt in the water. Yes, I believe in salting the water that you boil your potatoes in. It's what I was taught by every chef I worked for. And so I continue doing it. Okay, so we're going to put that off there. We're going to get it to heating quickly. But first I want to get the onions done. And the starch on the potatoes made quite a nice little design on my knife there. That's interesting. Where's my cocktail? Here we go. Okay. So we're going to start with the small one. Hope that looks like enough for the amount of potatoes that I'm making. I suspect it may or may not. So there we go. I'm covering all bases there. Okay. Let's just get this fucker peeled so that there is no evidence of any peels when I type it up. Oy, 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 oy. Okay, see, now that could go, that's gonna stay. Yeah. All right. I always wonder why my kitchen garbage gets so filled, and it's because I film a lot. As I'm walking around my day, I'm trying to now take note of exactly how often I'm throwing shit away in that garbage and filling that bag up, and it's a lot. Although I do know that there are some things that, like, I cannot throw out in there because it just takes up too much room. So I have to break down anything cardboard. If I don't break down anything cardboard, that will take up half the damn thing. But I want to be lazy. So I just take the cardboard by itself and bring it to the compactor room, and I send it down the chute, and there we go. Okay, these are dicing up just lovely, lovely, and lovely. Go around here, lovely, lovely, lovely. Do this lovely, lovely. This. A little bit of crosswise action here. Da da da. Okay, that's good. See what it looks like in the pan. Actually, that seems like enough. Yeah, that seems like enough. Put a little butter in there. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this off for a second. I'm going to let my potatoes cook for a minute, and then I will get about making the onions translucent and adding the sausages. So you guys just give me just a few seconds. I'll come back. Okay. I just want to take a pause from everything to advertise the fact that I have one of these sandwiches left. These goddamn... There's a million of them, but I think originally they were Uncrustable brand. These I got from Aldi, and I just want to let you know, they're fucking awesome. I know, just a little thing of peanut butter and jelly pressed together, but they're fucking delicious, and apparently I'm not the only one who thinks so. Alright, moving along. I have the onions here. I've got some margarine in there, and everyone always tells me it's important to tell you that I'm using margarine, so I am. And then, hang on, thought it was in this freezer. I've got two types of sausage here, both made by Banquet. When you think of sausage, no, sorry. These are Vermont maple cooked links, and they're amazing, and I love them. And these I got are little tiny patties that are good too. I'm gonna cook up the links, and if I think I need more sausage, I'll do these. But they've been sitting in my refrigerator for a long time, so I'm gonna cook them up with the onions and marge. Ready? We're gonna turn that on. We're gonna give ourselves a little spatula to work with. It's all gonna be amazing, and then hopefully by the time I'm done hang on. I think I've just realized something about the onions. I will be right back. Okay, so the issue I discovered with my onions was that when I told you about how many potatoes I have, that ain't nothing near the amount of onions I have. And I wondered why I was being stingy with myself, because it's me, and I wouldn't want to be stingy with me. So I cut up another onion. You know what I'm saying? Be right back. Just 1 second here. Doo-doo. I left my cocktail. I left my juice. Okay. So this is heating up. And at some point, you guys remind me if it's got to be, I'm going to grab my sausage links and start cooking those bad boys. So the potatoes are there cooking, parboiling, sorry. And the onions should start sizzling any time now. I got one of these, you know, glass top stoves, whatever they're called. I forget the name right now, but they really are excellent. There are times where I would prefer to have gas, but most of the time this actually does fine or better, depending upon my use for it. Oop. There we go. Come on. See, now the natural inclination would be to put the burner up as high as it went, but if I was impatient and did that, what would happen is things would just start happening too fast. They would get close to burning, and there's no reason that I have to run to, you know what I mean? To start, I don't have anything to do until 1:30 today. I almost had a lot to do today. I had a colonoscopy scheduled for today, and just be honest with you, it had to be rescheduled, but I'm pretty grateful it had to be rescheduled. I mean, I'm sorry I have to have it at all, but I definitely, as soon as I woke up this morning and was supposed to realize that it was tomorrow, not today, my apologies, but that I needed to be fasting and drinking the stuff that makes you shit your brains out all day, I was grateful that tomorrow's meeting does not have to happen. Tomorrow's procedure, sorry. Alright, now she's starting to melt a little bit. Da, 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 da. This is fascinating, right guys? You're loving this. Just watching my hands while I'm standing here, telling you stories about my colonoscopy. Using a new camera angle today. Hope you guys like it. And I've gotten some of my tripods. I've got 2 other cameras, which I'm going to have to take a fucking master's class in to learn how to use. And I'm about to invest in some editing software. If you guys ever want to leave a comment, you could let me know good software that you think I should try. But if not, I'll just live with this silent wall between us that the Google Analytics swears you're there for, but I don't see you. But it swears you're there and you're watching, all 98 of you. I should do one of those things where I give away something at my like 200th subscriber. A gift card or something nice. Ooh, I got a weird bump on my arm. This is such a weird time in my life, both for my health and whatever. Like, I'm trying to get over this shit that happened in 24, where I lost my wife and kid, and like move forward. But I was living in Canada, and for circumstances, I ended up, like, I'm in New York right now, and I really don't want to be here. It's a lovely city where I live, Ithaca. It's very nice. It is, but it's just, I want to be back across the border. Okay, I think it's time to put our sausages in there. So I'm going to start with the links just to make sure I have enough for those for one sandwich. Yeah. I think 3 will do it, maybe in 1 patty. Let's do that. I gotta remember that I like the maple flavored one the next time. There we go. Okay, I think that's gonna do fine. I'm gonna take it off the heat a little bit. I wanna let my, I wanna let my water come to a boil and do everything it needs to do without hurting my onions, which I'll also lower the temperature on. And when I get this thing at a point where I'm ready for something to happen, I'll be right back. I just figure honestly, how long do you guys want to see me stirring fucking onions, right? I mean, if I had two cameras running and one would be my face and one would be my hands, which I could do, just haven't learned how to yet, it would still be fucking boring. So, I'll be back. Okay, let me catch you up with the amazing things that have gone on while you haven't been watching. First of all, I reached a situation where the onions were going to overcook and my sausages were undercooked. They were not getting brown. So I took this lovely all steel, I think, copper bottom maybe, but all steel. It doesn't have nonstick coating on it. And I put the sausages in their own pot and got them browned up, and they look wonderful. Also, my potatoes got to the stage where I was happy with them, and so now I've got the potatoes in here cooking, and that's what I'm doing right now. I put some extra margarine in there, so it should cook well, and then I'm gonna put down some toast and do my eggs. As soon as the home fries are done, we're just gonna put them on a different plate. Now, they do take some paprika as well as some other things. So I'm going to hit them with some paprika now. And the thing is, I've used smoked paprika on this before, and it's great, and it does impart flavor. But I'm trying to experiment with just using regular paprika. And the other thing is you know, the smoked paprika, I'm trying to reach this type of, I've said it before, this type of home fries that I used to have, both when I lived in Queens, New York, and when I lived upstate and was going to school in Kingston, New York. And they were soft, but wonderful and buttery, and they went absolutely perfect with a couple of eggs. Absolutely perfect. And that's the goal. I've gotten so close to it, but I haven't exactly hit it. The last batch I made with the small cuts was very close to being it, but there were negatives to the small cuts. So it's not like I'm trying to reproduce it. I guess I'm trying to get it as close as possible. So that was the paprika. We're gonna now hit it with just a bit of minced onions, and I mean just a bit. Once around the bend, there she goes. And I'm gonna hit it with just a little bit of onion powder, same thing. Once around the bend, and there she goes. And then I'm gonna add some salt. And pepper. Can't overlook pepper. Okay. Now, it's between me and a fork, to be honest with you, to determine when these are done. I want to turn them over, so the paprika will also get in them in a homogeneous manner, but also let the onions get to the potatoes as well. Because we just did all those onions, and this is a large amount of potatoes for one pan, I admit that, but I want the onion flavor on all of it. And so it's going to have quite a bit of mixing. And I've got this on a very, very low heat while I didn't want it to cook, while I was, you know, trying to keep the onions timed well. So I'm just going to bring it up a little bit in heat. I, again, don't want to make them get to a point where they come out earlier than they had to, but I do want them to move along. After this, we're going to make some eggs. We're going to assemble a sandwich, and hopefully that goes well. Be right back. Okay, I raised the heat on the potatoes a little bit. They seem like they're done. I'm just going to give them a final test and make sure we're good on both flavor and texture. And we are. Those are coming off the heat. And now, I'm going to find a temporary vessel, i.e. a paper plate, to keep them while I do the eggs and stuff. Okay. Alright. Oh, that's 2 paper plates. Paper plates are expensive, man. Honestly, you don't want to waste them. Alright, so what are we going to do here? How am I going to manage this? I'm going to do it over here. On top of this. Yeah, you guys don't need to watch this. I'll be right back. Okay, so now, what you didn't see is, I don't know, I'm sure you guys have seen it. When you crack an egg, and it's got that little white piece of stuff by it, kind of hanging out of it. I don't know what that is, but it disgusts me. I didn't like eggs a lot until I was in my late 20s, and I always hate big white patches of white stuff in my scrambled eggs. And so those little white pieces, I'll be honest with you, they gross me out, and they are hella strong. I mean, unbelievably fucking strong to take out of there. So it takes me a few minutes. I thought maybe you guys didn't need to see that. Now, I've got the 1 scrambled egg. Gonna add in some salt, pepper, and a tiny bit of milk. A teeny tiny bit of milk. Just give me a second here. Here we go. I don't think I did salt and pepper, did I? Okay, so I'm going to beat this. I'm going to get some margarine out of the refrigerator. I'm going to put it down. Now here's the thing. This has got to be a complicated perfect action. Because what I got to do is, I want to make the egg in enough time, put down the toast, right? The toast thing for the toast at the correct time, and then add cheese. I'm going to add some cheese to this eggs right here. Those are going to be some shredded. But on the sandwich itself, I'd like a topper of melted American cheese. So that's a little bit complicated to do timing-wise, but we're just going to do the best we can. Be right back. Also, and I wish there'd be some way to work it in, I got a bag of avocados, and as you know, when you get a bag of avocados, they mostly all get ripe at once. So whereas you're in the mood for an avocado the day you buy the avocado, you can't have avocados that day. At best, you can put them in a paper bag and they'll ripen early, but then when they are ripe, they're all ripe at once and you're trying to give away avocados, you know? So, if there was some way that I could easily work into this, an avocado somewhere, but I can't. It'd just be like, here's your breakfast and an avocado on the side. You know what I'm saying? And it just doesn't feel right. All right, put this back. The reason I keep running back and forth for things, especially for margarine, is that I gotta tell you, this stove heats hot. And if I keep the margarine nearby, as opposed to putting it in the refrigerator every time, I'll have a puddle of 1 pound of puddled margarine to deal with. So I keep it in the fridge for as long as I can. There, so I just added some sharp cheddar stuff to the eggs. It's already melted. We're gonna put on the burner about halfway, and I guess there's nothing else to do with these eggs but start them going, so here we go. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do, just 1 second, but we'll do it. No, it needs to happen now. Just a second, I need to get a cutting board. Okay, so these links are indeed links, and if they're gonna go on a sandwich, they need to be made a little bit of an easier shape to go in. So we're gonna put the links here separate. I got 3 of them. We're going to take a knife that I saved for just such an occasion. And I'm going to cut them so that when they get ready to go on the sandwich, their odd shape doesn't make the sandwich like fall apart or whatever. Oh. That wasn't so good, oddly, but okay. Okay, so now they're cut. The eggs are going, we'll put these back. Clear out some room here. The eggs are going in because the margarine is sizzling, so we get all of that in there, all that lovely cheddar goodness, and then we immediately start making the eggs. And I'm going to put down the toast to cook right now too. Mom's doing so good here. I am a handy fellow. I wouldn't say I'm a good cook, but I'm starting to get to be still not a good cook. But you know, you do with what you can, right? So these eggs are going to harden up. Sorry. These eggs are going to harden up very fast because this pan is hot. And that's okay. I don't like drippy eggs. They're fine. And I'll just take them right off the heat when I think they're ready. And they're almost done. And then the other thing I want to do is put butter onto my toast when it comes up. You know what we're going to do? Da-da-da. Okay, well, some of that toast is going to be as toasty as it gets, unfortunately, because I need to use it before my eggs get cold. So just give it another 10 seconds. There we go. Actually came out perfectly. So I'm going to get that other plate out. I'm going to put this American cheese on top of the eggs. And then I'm going to put most of these eggs right on the plate here. And then I'm going to put the sausage links down on top of it. Yep, looks like I missed one. Nope, that's cut. And I'm going to take the rest of these eggs. There we go. And I'm going to put them on top. Oh, those eggs are fucking hot too. Wow. All right. I'm cooking with eggs now. Come on, man. Look at making me look like shit on television and stuff. Let's just give that a whole skip over. And now I've got the top toast here, which I'm going to put some butter on after you're off the air here. But here we go. A very credible bacon, sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich by me. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm interested in doing some broccoli cheddar soup, either today or tomorrow, and some magic with puff pastry that I've never worked with before, and it's probably going to turn out to be a complete clusterfuck, so stay around for that, and I'll see you on the next one. Do 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 do.